Hello and welcome to the podcast where we talk about all things Weiss and chill with friends. My name is Liam and today we are back for season 3 of the Weiss and Chat podcast. I hope you're well. I hope you haven't missed us too much and I hope you enjoyed season 2, especially our last interview with none other than Bushiroad's CEO, Kidani-san himself. If you are new here, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Check out the podcast on Spotify as well. And check out my other socials on Twitch, on X and on Discord. Those links are down in the description below. But let's go straight into introducing our guest today. And we do have Mr. Joe from JoeSchmmo and Base Damage. Joe, hello.
Hello.
Good morning to you, should I say, because it is currently like 6 a.m. for you.
Yeah, it's like 6:30, but it's A-okay. Just got off work.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, mate. Really, really appreciate it. And
yeah, not a problem.
I mean, first things first, like, tell us about yourself. You know, JoeSchmmo, who are you?
So I am a variety streamer and I guess Anituber, I guess would be the proper term. But I am half IRL and half VTuber. At nighttime, I switch over to a VTuber model. Yep. Make it easier on me so I don't have to gussy up for stream at nighttime when I'm looking like a nighttime gremlin. But I do a lot of content from covering manga reviews to new stuff coming out to covering anime and manga news, such as stuff like, for example, recently with Katakawa, how they were about to throw out literally stuff from the 80s, 90s, and even currently, just going to throw it out, but ended up being saved. Just video game news covering more recently the Xbox Live Arcade being shut down. A bunch of, important things to me and people who would, be otakus per se. But I do a lot of anime and video game related content as well as stream highlights over on my YouTube channel.
Absolutely insane. And if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, again, all the links are above on the screen here, and they're also going to be down in the description. But obviously, we were speaking a little bit earlier, and you said you started making contact back in 2015. What actually made you start wanting to do that?
I think it was more of they can do it. Why can't I? I think that's what it was pretty much down to. But I started with manga reviews, and I'll never forget. It was the first review was Magical Girl Apocalypse, which is like a horror sci-fi kind of manga. That was some of the worst thing I've ever done. And everyone said when you start out, even looking back now, everything looks bad comparatively. You're not starting out Mr. Beast level. You got to work your way up from, the chug jug with you kind of level, if you get what I'm saying. So you just got to work your way up. But yeah, I started with some manga reviews. Then I tried to do some gameplay and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And it just kind of went from there. A lot of evolutions happened.
Absolutely. And so, what you said there about, how a channel and its content can evolve. I still remember my very first video, which is still unavailable. It was still available on YouTube. It was actually under my other name, which was DJ Darkrai. And I actually did a deck profile on Bofuri and its 2-soul build. And I look back and now I'm like, you know what? For a first video, it wasn't. I now look at the stuff I'm making now and go, my production quality has gone through the freaking roof. And see that happen, that progression is really, really cool. And I guess touching on that as well, like talking of progression, 2024, this year has started incredibly well for you, just hitting 10,000 subscribers on your main YouTube channel, which, first of all, congratulations, that's massive.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
And obviously, like you said, you're a variety YouTuber, variety streamer. What have you got lined up for this year? Anything new and fancy coming out?
Well, I'm going to look back at some of the old content, oddly enough, and I'm going to probably do that this weekend, because I was sitting here thinking, you talk about production quality. How I started out, I had a old Toshiba laptop. That was what I did stuff on, and I used some like Movie Maker ripoff. I think was how I edited, and then I was recording on an iPhone 4S.
Wow.
And then like I had an angle that you could see my double chin kind of. Classic. So like it was very bad. It was just so we're thinking I might go redo that because I take a look every once in a while to keep myself leveled. But this year, I'm booked for the first half of the year between doing a bunch of personal stuff and then doing stuff for, my personal side business that I got basically brought into, which we can go over a little bit. But this month, I had a convention at the beginning of the month, which I have a vlog literally coming out today of recording for the said event. Next month, I'll be in Universal with a family on vacation.
Lovely.
March, I have multiple events going on. I'm going to try and do a charity event for the Video Game History Foundation, which is going to be like a 24-hour charity stream.
Wow, yeah.
Then later at the end of that month, I have a event, earlier that month, I have an event with my business where I'm going to be at a video game flea market selling for that anime business that I'm a part of.
Mm.
April, I got a bunch of personal things that are going to be busy basically every weekend. And then May, which I'm going no matter what, is the regionals for Springfest, or
Yes, of
Springfest,
course.
not regionals, but Springfest.
Yeah.
The team thing. And then at the end of that month, I have a anime convention that I'm going to for the business.
So you're a little bit busy.
Just a little bit. And that's not including work on top of all of that. That's not including editing, going out and doing like video game hunting. That's not all over.
No, I get that. I only relate, and so I'm not going to talk about me on this stream, obviously, but I've got a lot of things coming up with a few things, especially March. March is incredibly busy because that's when the UK Springfest is. It's the second week of March, which is like 7 weeks away as the point of recording this.
That's kind of, I'm still surprised they're doing that a little early, but I mean, better late than never, though.
That's very true. But yeah, I'm genuinely so surprised at how quick it's been. But you know, again, I suppose, like you said, talking on your business on the side, which sounds like it's orientated around anime and things like that. I mean, feel free to talk about it.
So, my buddy Nick, he goes by Primal Merchant on Twitch. He is the owner of Boxu-chan, which is a personalized anime box. So you've heard of like Otaku Box or whatever. Yeah, no, screw that. They give fake like custom made resin statues and all this stuff. They give everyone the same thing. This is, you fill out this huge survey. It's personalized to you. So if you say, let's say my favorite one's Mushoku Tensei. I'm going off your background here. Mushoku Tensei. What is that down on the bottom left there?
That's my go from Bang Dream.
So Bang Dream, I love that kind of stuff. So you like isekai, you love music. All right, cool. So we're going to give you a full season, not like a part one. You'll get, if it's a 13 episode or 26 episode, you'll get the full thing, Blu-ray or regular DVD, whichever way we have. You'll get a full legit licensed figure, and then you'll get extra stuff. If you like TCG, we'll give you TCG packs like Weiss Schwartz, for example, because he's a big Weiss guy himself. Or if you like Digimon, that kind of thing, we'll try and work that out. But it's all tailored to your taste, and we have not had any negative feedback.
That's amazing. I'll have to check that out. What's it called? Boxer-chan.
Yeah, there's about 100+ videos on YouTube because patrons do videos on it. Before I became an official business partner, I've done a couple videos on it because he's a good friend of mine. So I bought him to do reviews to help get stuff out there. But there's plenty of videos out there.
And do they ship worldwide, or is it just US? Or
we do have international shipping. You can become a patron, which is like the monthly subscription thing, and get access to the Discord.
Okay.
Which I am on, but we're still trying to work out the finer details with international shipping. But he can get in contact with you and they can work it out pretty much.
That's really cool, actually. So, no, I didn't know of Boxer-chan. I now know of Boxer-chan.
Yep.
I will be checking out Boxer-chan.
Yeah, it's very, we source, we put our hands on the boxes. Like, we go out and get merchandise. So, like, example, at the event I was just at, the convention, they have a flea market on the last day so people can recuperate their losses from spending everything in a dealer's room and stuff. So we went around and we bought legit products. We went through, put our hands on it. We bought a bunch of manga. We bought figures. We putting our hands on the product so we know what we're getting.
That's cool.
And he has a rare DVD section too. And if you're part of the Patreon, you get like 10+% off of the rare stuff. So you can get DVDs like collector's editions that no one makes, because there's Aniplex only does one-ofs, and there's a whole lot of things, and he could do a lot more better explaining. But we have a lot of rare stuff, and then we have stuff that we can get you into. And but yeah,
that legit sounds really cool, actually. I need to check that out.
So yeah, feel free to check it out on YouTube. But we're not here for Boxer-chan. It's just a little bit of JoeSchmmo for you.
No. I guess diverting back to, JoeSchmmo and, your content creation side of things. Me, myself, I've been making content for like 2 years now, properly for 2 years. And, people have always come to me and gone, oh, how did you start? What did you do with this? And whilst I've got a bit of experience and can share some opinion, you are much more of a veteran than I am on the world of YouTube, obviously. And I guess the question I've got for you regarding content creation as a whole is, rather than getting started, once you have started, what advice would you give to people that have started, got a little bit of a following, kind of like myself, to progress to the next step?
Well, I have one big thing that is big when you get starting. I want to say this first. Your first video is not, if your first video takes off, you are the 0.00001% That other 99.9%, your video is not going to take off. You're going to be asking friends, family to take a look at it, do all that stuff. It's just how it is. You got to base it around it. Do not get discouraged. That's one of the biggest things. But as of late, it's hard because it's a better lack of terms. It's a crapshoot on if something's going to hit, because COVID really brought forward a lot of content creators via Twitch and YouTube because everyone was stuck home.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, not everyone's stuck with it. Not everyone's still doing stuff, but they have to filter through the crap to get to the gold.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing I can say is just keep going, keep learning. That's the other thing. Like earlier today, the video I sent you earlier.
Yes.
I discovered that, but I mean, I'm always learning. I'm always keeping an eye on things. Networking is another thing, but don't be aggressive with it.
No.
Get to know if you're going to join a Discord. So let's say if I join which I have, join a Discord, go and talk with people. Don't hop in there and be like, here's my stuff. Follow me. Get to know the community. Build relations. Building relations is a big keystone. That way you can get feedback. That's another good one. Get some positive feedback. Get negative feedback. That's one of the big things. I'm always ear to negative feedback because it means I'm doing something wrong, and it might be good to you. It might be good to my buddy Cade over at Base Damage. Might be good to my mods. But if a new person that I don't know says, hey, this is weird to me, looks wrong, got to keep that fresh eye. The other thing is YouTube's pushing shorts.
Yes.
So if you're doing YouTube, try to make shorts. I say shorts is killing long-term format, but that's because of TikTok, and this is a whole nother discussion. But I would say focus on your long-term while making shorts out of that long-term long content. So make snippets, make edits of it, cut it together. Getting the shorts is another way to get out there because you could make related videos to the shorts. So if you do have a short that takes off that has 10,000 views, which is not a lot, but it's a lot to small creators like me. Yeah. It still brings in traffic, still brings in views. So
no, absolutely. I think that's great. And it's funny enough, literally this year, I've done, I was never like, I was always like, shorts, not a fan of it. I like going into detail. I like doing things. But then I was like, actually, shorts are kind of popping off. Should not ignore it anymore.
Well, the big thing is YouTube's pushing it because of TikTok.
Yes.
So YouTube wants shorts to be a good thing, which shorts are killing. It's really weird because it's killing the attention span. That's how I look at it, because it's gotten so weird. So you also notice when shorts came out, videos actually started getting longer too.
Yes.
Because people started realizing, okay, cool, I get short-term content, but I really want to watch something. So, and I've noticed for myself personally, because of my job, I ended up actually watching longer form. I'm watching an hour video without even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like over the last year, I like cars, but I don't work on them. Yeah. I literally started watching 2 car channels that will go get a rust bucket and like revive it, like, and make it run. It's a natural progression because I want that long-term content, and people are seeking it out. So it's a good and a bad thing.
It's a tossing it up. It's have the balance of the two is optimal, right?
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, the best way of making short is making your long-form content and then editing it down to funny viral moments, basically.
Yep.
That are short, 30 to 60 seconds maximum, pumping things out there that people can digest really easily.
Yep. And I double on that. So Wednesdays I release stream highlights. So like they're from a stream over on Twitch, and they're cut up by my editor, which he's a friend of mine. I'm not bragging or anything. It's how it is.
Yeah.
And he'll cut up shorts, 2 or 3 shorts per video, and I'll have it stagger out Tuesday and Thursday. So like I'm staggering shorts. Then on top of that, I'll go over to TikTok, and the last month and some change, I post a short a day from all the old shorts I got to get to build up. Because you can double up, because the short format for YouTube Shorts is the same video size almost for TikTok. So you don't have to change anything. You can slap it in there and just go. Yeah. So you're knocking 2 birds with 1 stone. So another content creator tip, whatever you want to call it.
They're saying it's one of those things that, again, like me, myself, I'm starting to do more non-Weiss stuff on my streams. Like I've just started playing Final Fantasy 14. Today I start playing Palworld, which literally just came out today, so I'll be streaming that today, and I hope to make some shorts from that. And it's, again, trying to find those moments that make you go, oh, this is a good opportunity, and picking the games that are good for doing that, like the recent one you did for Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart is a fantastic game for shorts, because if something small and quick happens, it's just bang, 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 funny, like your ninth place shenanigan. Like, it's like, and then I went to 6th to 9th on a single turn on freaking Baby Kart. course.
Yeah, doing Baby Park,
That's
which
it.
we call the great. In my community, we call it the Great Equalizer because anything can happen. Doesn't matter if you're first place. Everyone's on top of each other, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
But
And I totally agree. And it's making me change how I do my content now. It's making me reconsider what sort of content I make. And like one thing that I've got in my pipeline, at least, is I intend to make a series called Weiss Shorts. So instead of Weiss Schwartz, playing on the word of Schwartz, and making short videos on Weiss, whether it be a news update, whether it be a hot take on a set, or a random like card of the day sort of thing. Like I intend to try and do those where I try and release 3 to 4 a week, because it doesn't take long to edit, it doesn't take long to record. Like I can record and edit something that's a short on my phone, or I can do it properly on the camera, and it'll take me a couple hours maybe.
Yep, and honestly, you could probably pop out 2 or 3 weeks worth. You can do the card of the day, choose random cards to do, talk about in a quick 60-second thing, and then news came out. Do that real quick.
Yep.
And so get that all done on a Sunday.
Once we finish recording this, I'm literally going to be recording some stuff on the presentation that just came out, because it's, again, really quick, really simple. Ironically, for Weiss Schwartz, there wasn't a massive amount of news, so it can be nice and short. I was going to do like an actual full video on it, but I was like, well, there's not enough stuff there to make something big, so I'll just do a short instead and make it a 60-second video. So I need to play around with that. I need to play out with a new setup to do like obviously a vertical recording rather than a horizontal recording. But yeah, I think it'll be good. And that's me evolving my channel, at least. So, and you see it, like you said, a lot of people are doing that now, and I think it is good. In the in terms of a variety of content, I think it's good.
Oh yeah, no, for sure it is, because it brings in different audiences. I just keep in mind, does not bring in long-term audience 95, 96% of the time. It does not long-term, which is what you want. That way you build that fan base, you can build up the watch hours and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, so what I want to do now, so we'll move away from JoeSchmmo for a bit, and we'll touch base on Weiss Schwartz and your part in the Weiss Schwartz community, I guess. So I guess first things first, obviously the game itself. Like, when did you find Weiss Schwartz? How did you get into it? How did that all work for you?
So I have a video where I talk about my experience with the TCG community, but I started with Card Fight Vanguard, and that's a Bushiroad game, which is still thriving and still going today. I remember, so how it happened, I was in high school, it was my senior year, which is year 4. I was sitting at my buddy's house, and I found this anime on YouTube. It's called Card Fight Vanguard, and I'm like, I'm looking for something new. Let me look. And I got absorbed into it, which I just want to say, the English dub is pretty good, especially the old one is very good.
Oh, with Aichi, you mean? Like
the old, with Aichi and like Mikasa, Kamui, Kai, like the super old one, like the very first one they released, the dub was pretty good. I really enjoyed it, at least. So I started watching that, then I saw my buddy, Tim, I'll call him Timmy the Cat. Timmy the Cat, he changed his Facebook profile to Aichi, and I'm like, oh, hey, bud, I didn't realize you liked this. He was like, yeah, we come out and play, and I'm like, wait, it's a real card game? And then it kind of went from there, so I played Weiss Schwartz, or I played Card Fight for couple years. For those who are interested, I was mainly Dimension Police. I was Oracle Think Tank. Then I turned into a Zeal main, so I played Zeal for the longest time, and then I ended up on Coral for Bermuda Triangle. But
yes,
once our local card shop ended up moving and getting to a new place, one of our friends ended up starting working for them, and they were like, "Hey, we got this new game from Bushiroad called Weiss Schwartz. We finally got it in." And since a bunch of all my friends were playing, I said, yeah, sure, I'd start playing. And they were like, yeah, we also got this Love Live set. And I'm like, oh, you mean the anime that like saved me? Yes, please, let me invest. So I got the trial deck, and it kind of went from there. But that's pretty much the start of the Weiss journey, and that was what, 2016, 17, I think. Okay. Whenever Love Live came out, I don't remember.
Love Live, as in like the original Love Live set.
Yes, the OG Love Live set.
That was 2015, I think.
2015. Oh yeah, so 2015, 2016.
It was just before Attack on Titan, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around there is when I started playing. That was my set. Which, speaking of, the 10th anniversary set was announced for English, which is very good because I've been craving for new Love Live, stuff. So I'm getting my fix.
As I say, when I saw that get announced, like, I personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Love Live. I think it's a cool idea. I love the IP itself, but I wasn't a big fan of the set and things like that. But I love my idol set. I like Bang Dream. But ironically, Sunshine was one of the very first sets I owned. I think the very first set I owned was Sword Art Online, then Attack on Titan, then Sunshine, and then the rest is history.
So oddly enough, the deck I did the best ever with at a regionals, I got 20th out of like 130, 140, was with a Nico waifu deck. And people were unhappy because of how well I did. Because I comes down to skill, timing, and then just, happens to, failure on their part because they didn't get the cards. It was a perfect storm. And I think I went I think it was a Swiss 7, Swiss 7 or 8.
Oh.
And I think I went 4, like some weird thing. Like I did pretty good for a waifu deck.
I was going to say, like,
20th.
if you finished 20th in a 130-man tournament, you'd have probably gone 4-3.
Yeah, 4-3 or 5-3, something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, and it was my first region, like actual regionals too, which on top of that's just yeah. No, I'm looking back on my YouTube channel and I'll cover this when we talk about base damage specifically. I have deck profiles for Arise. I have stuff for I have Monogatari up here.
Oh wow!
Like and some of these deck profiles are still available on the channel. I hit a lot of it because it's not relevant to nowadays stuff, but yeah, there's just a lot of like Weiss deck profiles and stuff like that on this channel.
Yeah, I need to do more of those, to be fair.
But yeah, no, my IP, like, for a while, so after Love Live kind of died down, after Sunshine, building a Bang Dream. I made a Tai waifu deck because she actually worked very well as by herself.
Yeah.
Then I went and did a bunch of other things. Then for a while, my bag got stolen out of my car, so I had no decks for a while.
Oh, no.
And I was using scraps, but it's okay because 3 months later, the guy came to the one card shop in town because, there's only one deck sets Weiss Schwarz, and, I got my stuff back. But right now, I think the current decks I have that I could pull out and play are the Love Live Sunshine, which was the meta build for
the Yo into your what is it, Stock Soul Blank Door is I think a build.
Yeah. Then I have the Tai deck, which I'm still slowly editing because all the new Bang Dream sets I keep coming out. And I have a slime deck. Which I built a Shion Shuna with a little bit of Ranga in it, but with the new set that's come out, I literally have them sitting right here.
Yeah.
Finish building. And then I have a cheap Hololive deck because of how much standby is in it. You can still make a good deck with it being cheap. I'm looking for this Spring Fest. I'm going to try and build pretty good slime. I'm going to try and build like the best slime deck I can make. I'm going to try and go and swing with that because last year we did it for fun. It was just fun to show up, just to catch up with people and play. But this year I'm going to take it very seriously and I'm going to try my best.
But like you said, like that whole going to play casually, going to play for fun, seeing what you can do, and then how it evolves into wanting to take the game more seriously, how it evolves into, wanting to do well, like any other card game. In a game that is not the most designed to be a competitive card game, I think is the allure of Weiss Schwarz.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I just think it's,
So how I tell people what Weiss is about is one of the big things that I really like about this game is that when I was starting to get around, it was the news that a guy took a trial deck to regionals and won.
Yes.
He beat a regionals and won with a trial deck, and that secured him a spot to go to internationals.
Yes,
because he
won.
Worlds,
yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the big things. You can literally go pick up one of the new trial deck pluses, which I don't even think they're still plus, right?
No, they've changed now. They've gone back to non-plus.
I'm ashamed as someone who, I don't know, helps with a Weiss Schwarz channel still and is a founding member of a Weiss Schwarz channel. I still call them trial deck pluses. That's pathetic on my end. But that's beside the point. You could go pick up a trial deck and still go win at your locals, or even if you're lucky enough at a regionals. The luck factor is nice. And I remember the second regional I went to, a guy rolled up with a fairy tale trial deck, and he did, I think he went I think it was, yeah, that was a 7-round, and he went 4-3 with a Fairy Tale trial deck. And that was when I think it was, it's 2019. So I think the runners for Attack on Titan was strong, and they were like running all over the place at the time. He beat them. He beat 4 of those decks with a Fairy Tale trial deck.
Huh.
So like that's one of the big key factors that I really like, is that you can literally just go buy a brand new deck and do pretty well. As long as you know what you're doing, you can do some damage.
That's it. And you know, that shows that I think the game is designed in such a way where, yes, luck is a massive factor, of course it is, but you also see that the same people always qualify for Worlds. There are always 10 to 15 players that you always see nearly every world final, which shows the element of skill in not just playing, but your deck building, the element of, you know, understanding your circumstance and adjusting your gameplay to how the game is going, choosing what set to play based upon your understanding of the meta and your knowledge of the meta. Like, there's so much that goes into it that people say, oh, Weiss is a casual game. And yes, Weiss is a casual game, but you can make it as competitive as you want it to be. And I think that's what's so, like, the spectrum of what Weiss Schwarz can be is what makes it so special to me. That, and obviously anime cute girls, sure, fine.
Yeah. You know, the standard attraction.
Something
know?
otaku, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you get it.
Okay, well, let's move on. So I think we've mentioned it already, base damage, and you know, you mentioned obviously they are a Weiss Schwarz YouTube channel, and that you were one of the co-founders. I mean, tell us about base damage.
So I talked with Fern about this because Fern Lunchbox invited me on. And it's a very weird, funny story. As I was learning to play and as I started getting into it from card fight into Weiss and started transitioning it into my main game, I met my buddy Cade and I met our friend Moroku. And we started playing a lot. We started talking and we were like, there's not really a lot of people. I mean, yeah, there's like, I think 3-6 Cancel was big around the time. I know he was getting up there.
Well, 3-6 Cancel was obviously, first of all, Jack, obviously, you know, he's amazing. He's now stepped down from doing Weiss tubing, which is really sad, but totally understand why.
Mad respect, and he is a pioneer. He ran so we could walk.
That's very true. He put, on terms of YouTube, he put Weiss on the map.
But we realized there was no one really discussing it, like sitting down, talking. So we were like, why don't we just, you know, as casual players, and we talk, you know, as we're learning, the first couple episodes we're talking about, you know, us getting into it, talking about what our favorite decks at the time were and stuff. All these episodes, by the way, there's like 100+ podcast episodes. They're up there. It all started because the card shop, our local card shop, they bought it used to be a restaurant and a nightclub, then back to a restaurant. So there's this meat freezer back there that they used to stream the games. It wasn't like, you know, active or anything. So they keep the door open and they would live stream the games. Like it would be whatever, Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Weiss. And it would live stream it. They had a whole setup in there. So we go in there and borrow the room and we recorded in a giant ice box. That's how we started. We were literally in an ice box recording episodes.
It's gonna have some like noise suppression and things like that, right?
They had the foam everything up.
Yeah,
but we were recording on a phone half the size, and it was like the free phone when you sign up for a company. It was like an old free phone. That was how we captured our audio.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how we rocked and rolled back in the days.
That's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, and then from there, we casually started building up. We started getting out there. We started, trying to advertise more, do more. We faced a lot of pushback, and I won't go into it, but a lot of people didn't like what we were doing in the beginning. And times have changed. People still don't like us. But I don't know why. That is one of the biggest things. I don't know why. Maybe because we're honest or we don't hold back.
Yeah, sure.
I guess. I don't know, but we have people that still hate on us. I don't care. It doesn't affect us. If you somehow listen to us, feel free to keep talking.
It's funny because you talk about, I guess we'll transition that into the Weiss tubing scene and things like that. And, like you said, your content on base damage is very blunt, very to the point, very honest, and little filtered. Whereas my content, I will admit, is way more filtered. It's recorded and edited in such a way that I want to highlight the great things about Weiss Schwarz, whilst not being blind to the bad stuff. There are stuff that is still very wrong, and I'm very vocal about it, especially on the judge server. It's not perfect, but again, it's highlighting the things that are getting better and going well, and ultimately that sort of positive reinforcement will hopefully encourage them to do even better, and that's how I do my content, at least anyway. And I want to be more educational and informational rather than let's look at this, is this the right thing to do, here's our opinion. I tend to be more educational rather than opinionated, I guess.
Yeah, so don't get us wrong, the only stuff when we get opinionated is, I guess, deck builds per se, because Cade loves to find great cheap alternatives.
Yes,
that is his big pastime. He will sit down and see how he can build a great deck that can rival with the Hololive, the best, most meta Hololive. He will go into the same set and see what he can build for like $50 or less, and it will do the same thing. It will function the same. He goes out of his way to do it, and I guess people didn't like that because we were proven that, but we go out of our way to make it a good experience. If people are on a budget, that is our big thing. We try to make it easier for people to get in. And Cade has 20 plus years experience, quote unquote. Don't hold me to that. He has a very long term experience from being in Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and a bunch of other TCGs. And he explains this in one of his videos why he prefers Weiss the most. We love this game to the point where there was a guy who was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and someone started trash talking Weiss in one of the things, saying, oh yeah, that game's trash, it's dead, it's all this stuff. We were in there like, no, it's still alive and well. There's plenty of people, a lot of people moving over from Yu-Gi-Oh and all these other games to Weiss because it's not as toxic. The community, the fan base as a whole is fantastic. Overall, this game is such a nice breath of fresh air. We love this game. So I think that's where our bluntness comes from, because there are people that can finesse it, that, give the justice that it deserves, like you and like Lunchbox, given on top of the news, on top of all that stuff. Then there's us on the back end covering all the sets. We cover almost every single set that comes to English.
Yep.
We do communities, community deck builds.
Yeah,
we can look at what the community's building, what they're doing, what their solutions are, how much, if they give us a price point, we'll talk about that. We try to keep it as friendly and welcoming as possible. So that's where I think our bluntness comes from, because I rather tell you this up front than you find out later on, that kind of thing. But overall, this game is fantastic. We love this game over all the TCGs we've ever played. I played a lot of now dead TCGs, and this game is it's fantastic.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I wouldn't be doing what I do now, and to the extent that I do, if I didn't enjoy this game and I didn't love being part of the community that is ultimately fantastic. And I think that's what helps with Weiss Schwarz. And I always say this, the community is genuinely one of the best parts about the game. The game itself, I love how it's designed. I love the way they do the IPs. I think it's really, really cool. Like, I'm a nerd, I'm a weeb. I love my anime. But not only that, I do think that whilst the game is not the best supported by the company, and I think it is getting better, and I will always say that it is getting better, and there is evidence to show it's getting better, but it's still got a very long way to go, especially if they want to meet Kadani-san's goal of being the number one TCG company in the world. Like, they've got an incredibly long way to go to even compete with the likes of Bandai, with Konami, with Pokemon Company. They have got an extremely long way to go, but you can see that they're trying to do the right things, and I think that's really important, that they are trying to progress rather than just, oh, this is our way, this is how we're going to do it, like a lot of Japanese companies do. Let's be honest. It is really cool to see how they do want to improve. And like, I wouldn't have taken the opportunity to go and meet Kadani in Japan and taken time out of my holiday to sit down and do a formal interview. Like, I wouldn't have done that if I didn't love what they were trying to do, and that I fully support it. And I think that's also what's great about even the Weiss tubing community. Like, everyone that's in the Weiss tubing community all thinks of the best of the game, and they want to do what they can to make it better. I don't think there is a single Weiss Schwarz, dedicated Weiss Schwarz content creator that doesn't have that goal in mind. They all have the best intentions in heart. And I think that's what's great as well. Again, it means that, someone like me can speak to someone like you and just go, yeah, we're just talking. This is great. And, whereas I can imagine and I've seen it firsthand from a friend of mine who used to be a YouTube content creator for Yu-Gi-Oh! And they tried reaching out to a bigger YouTuber and they were literally told, get lost. And it was just like, lovely. That's great.
Look, on the YouTube sphere, people let those numbers get to the head, and that's one of those things that, like, I do YouTube and I do the things I do the stream and I do all that stuff because I want to, if at the end of the day, if I can make you laugh, if I can educate you, if I can make you forget about your worries, even if it's just for a minute, and I can bring a smile to your face, that is my goal. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love to be a full-time content creator. I have a lot of ideas I would love to do, but if at the end of the day, if my content can make you laugh, if it can make you forget about your troubles, if you can use it as an escape, even for 10 to 15 minutes, that means I did my job. I did what I wanted to do. And that's all I ask. I don't get it. A lot of people lose their way and their head get filled when they start getting bigger. Not everyone, but a lot of people. And so that's what I also love about the Weiss community, because we haven't had an issue with that. Even with Alex, who's a big TikToker, who does a lot of good justice for Weiss and does Pokemon content as well. I'm getting an interview set up with him so I can do one of my like set of interviews and stuff I want to do this year. And we're going to sit there and talk about it. He'd had no issue with it. He's like, I'm just a normal guy like you. I'll gladly sit down and talk about, YouTube and Weiss and stuff like that. Cause I have a lot of stuff I want to like pick his brain about. Just like that. Like you said, big content creator, but he's a Weiss content creator. He's nice, chill, and calm.
And it's really funny, actually, like what you said there about, as long as I've made someone laugh, as long as I've made someone smile, I've done my job. I literally said that yesterday on the Power World Discord, because I was like, oh, I'm looking to stream it, and someone was like, oh, what's the point of streaming it if you've not got a big following or you haven't got the support of the company? I'm like, because I want to. And I want to have fun. And if I can make someone who's having a bad day have a slightly better day just because of a moment that's happened during a stream, then that's all I ever intend to do. So when you said that, I was like, I relate so hard.
and I told you what my job is, and I've been open about it, but I'm a first responder. So I do this job not because of the pay. Trust me, the pay is not there. I do this to help people. If I didn't want to help people, I would not be in this job. It has been a thing in my family for years, going way back to when we immigrated here and stuff like that, way back in the 20s and stuff like that. It is in our blood to help. And I look at YouTube and Twitch as another way to help people, make them laugh, forget their troubles, have a place to relax, just zone out, and just even to help. I have a lot of people that watch me while they're at work because they can relax and they can laugh while I'm going and doing stuff like that. No. It blows my mind that people want to give me the most valuable thing in this world, which is time. And we don't know how much we have, but they're giving what they have to me. And that is like one of the best things I could ask for.
No, that is such a lovely sentiment to start wrapping this up, talking of time. Like, first of all, thank you for your time. Like, genuinely appreciate you so much for you coming, and especially after your day of work, and given how early it is for yourself, I hope you sleep well after this.
No, not a problem. And I also noticed it's not dark out anymore, so it worked itself out. So.
But seriously, Joe, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. And I guess before we before we end the stream, plug away, please, your stuff.
You can find me. I saw there's a bunch of links up here, so you can find me on all those socials. I am chronically addicted to X for some reason. I don't know why. I spend too much time on there. I need to cut that out. But please check me out on YouTube. I have videos coming out Monday through Friday, pretty much. That's going to be my goal, to at least have 3 big videos a week. But there's always content coming out. You can find me live on Twitch, where I'm always doing something different. Like literally later today, at the time of this recording, I will be reacting to community clips that people have been building up for about 2 months. Wow. So I'm going to be busy for a while today. So yeah, please feel free, drop in. I'm always welcome new people. I love to see new people. So
that's great. And so, like I said, you can check out all his links. They're up there. They're in the description. Check out JoeSchmmo on YouTube and on X, and make sure you check out Base Damage as well on YouTube. But apart from that, that is it for today's podcast. Joe, again, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate you inviting me and giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. And like I said, if you are new here to this channel, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Check out the Spotify podcast as well, and also check out my other socials on X, on Twitch, and on Discord. All those links are down below. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!
Bye-bye!